Welcome back, darklings, dreamers, and beautiful little creatures of the night. I'm your host for another journey into the shadows, and tonight we are opening the crypt doors for Myths Behind the Songs, Part 2. In Part 1, we stepped into the old forest with Baba Yaga and stood on the battlefield with the Morrigan. But tonight we are going deeper. We are going from blood-soaked castles to haunted shorelines, from forbidden offerings to urban legends whispering from behind surgical masks. We are dancing through plague-struck streets, opening the door to children with black eyes, and drowning in one of the strangest disasters in American history. These are the stories behind the songs. Some are folklore, some are urban legend, some are history so strange it already sounds like a nightmare. So light the candles, lock the doors, and whatever you do, don't take from the dead. Our first stop tonight is a castle where beauty, power, cruelty, and legend all bleed into one another. The song is The Blood Countess, and the woman behind it is Elizabeth Báthory, or Báthory Erzsébet in Hungarian, a noblewoman born in 1560. Her name has been whispered through history as one of the most infamous women ever accused of murder. Now, here is where we need to separate the stone-cold history from the blood-red legend. The historical record tells us that Báthory was accused of torturing and killing young girls and women. The accusations were horrifying. Servants were put on trial. Witnesses gave testimony. Her name became tied to cruelty, punishment, and a castle full of screams. But the most famous part of her legend, the idea that she bathed in the blood of young women to stay beautiful, is much harder to prove. That detail grew over time, feeding the myth of the vampire countess, the monster behind the mirror, the noblewoman so obsessed with youth that she turned vanity into horror.
Beauty tip number 1. Moisturizer, not murder.
And that is exactly where the song lives, not just in the blood, but in the mirror. Because the Blood Countess is not only about murder, it is about power without mercy. Beauty without a soul. A woman remembered as both real and monstrous, wrapped in a legend that keeps getting darker every time history retells it. When the song says, "Blood in the mirror, blood on the stone, tell me I'm beautiful, tell me I'm young," that is the heart of the story. A castle, a mirror, a hunger that nothing can satisfy.
In a house, every breath turned cold. Fear wore lace and a crown of gold. Mirror, mirror, tell no lies. Beauty fades, but blood survives. Blood in the mirror, blood on the stone. Tell me I'm beautiful.
and from stone walls and whispered screams, we leave the castle behind and follow the sound of singing across the waves. Now we move from blood to salt water. The song is the Selkie's song. Selkies are creatures from Scottish, Irish, and northern coastal folklore. In the sea, they live as seals, but when they come to shore, they can remove their seal skin and take human form. Beautiful, mysterious, and always tied to longing. Many Selkie stories follow a painful pattern. A human finds the Selkie's hidden sealskin and steals it.
Stealing someone's skin and calling it romance? Bold choice, sir. Horrible, but bold.
Without that skin, the Selkie cannot return to the sea. She is trapped on land, often forced into marriage or a life she never chose. That is why Selkie folklore can feel so heartbreaking. It is not just a magical love story. It is a story about captivity. It is about having your true self taken from you. It is about longing for home. It is about freedom calling from the waves. In many versions, the Selkie eventually finds her stolen skin and returns to the sea. Even if it means leaving behind a human life, a husband, or children. And that is where the song becomes powerful. The Selkie song is not just about a creature from folklore. It is about reclaiming yourself. It is about the part of you that remembers who you were before someone tried to own you. The stolen skin becomes a symbol, a voice taken, a home stolen. A freedom hidden away. But the sea keeps calling, and sooner or later, the Selkie answers. But not every spirit wants to be rescued. Some spirits only ask for respect. And if you take what was never yours, well, darling, that is when the dead start taking back. The next song is Don't Take from the Dead. Now this one is important because it is not based on one single fixed legend. This is an original horror story inspired by real traditions around spirit houses, shrines, offerings, and the deep belief that the dead and the spirits of a place should be respected. In many cultures, offerings are left for spirits, ancestors, guardians, or the unseen forces connected to a home, a road, a piece of land, or a sacred space. The basic idea is simple. You do not disrespect the spirits, you do not mock the shrine, and you definitely do not steal the offering.
Free charm at a shrine? No, darling, that's not a souvenir. That's a lawsuit from the afterlife.
Because in horror, the rule is always the same. The charm was not abandoned. The food was not forgotten. The little house was not empty. Someone was watching. That is how the best curses begin. A little bad luck, a strange sound at night. A shadow in the corner. A whisper near the door. Then the truth becomes clear. You did not steal from the living. You stole from the dead. And honey, the dead keep excellent records. This song is about respect. Respect for spirits. Respect for grief. Respect for sacred spaces. Respect for what does not belong to you. Because sometimes horror is not about a monster chasing you. Sometimes horror is realizing you invited the curse home yourself.
Leave the flame, leave the bread, whisper low, respect the dead. Don't take from the dead, don't touch what they own. Leave gifts at the doorway, leave blood on the stone. Don't take from the dead, don't steal from the shrine. What sleeps in the little house will follow you inside. One hand reached where prayers were laid, took a charm and walked away. Just a souvenir, they said. Then the candles all went dead. Rose turned black.
And speaking of invitations, our next legend asks one little question, but there is no safe answer. The song is Kuchisake-onna. Am I beautiful now? And this legend is one of the most chilling urban legends from Japan. Kuchisake-onna means slit-mouthed woman. In the modern version of the legend, she appears as a woman wearing a mask. Often a surgical mask. She approaches someone, usually at night, and asks, "Am I beautiful?" Now, if you say no, that is very bad. What if you say yes? She removes the mask, revealing her mouth cut wide from ear to ear, and asks again. Am I beautiful now? That is the trap. Yes or no, the question is dangerous. That is why this legend works so well. It turns something simple, a stranger asking about beauty, into a nightmare with no correct answer. It is vanity. It is violence. It is fear hiding behind politeness.
Any question that starts with, "Am I beautiful?" in a dark alley should be answered with cardio.
And because masks are so ordinary, the legend becomes even creepier. She does not have to crawl out of a grave or float through a wall. She can stand right in front of you on the street. Just another woman in a mask, until she asks the question. The song captures that panic. Don't say yes. Don't say no. Don't look back. Don't move too slow. Because with Kuchisake-onna, beauty is not the danger. The question is,
Red lips hide behind the fan, pretty smile, blade in hand. One question asked may be our end. Don't say yes, don't say no. Don't look back, don't move too slow. She leans in, you hear the sound. One little question can take you down. Am I beautiful now? Tell me what you see when the fan comes down and the blood shines deep.
and now that we have survived the woman with the impossible question, let's go to another doorway. It is late. Someone is knocking, and the children outside want to come in. The next song is Black-Eyed Children. Now this is a modern urban legend, and it has that perfect nightmare setup. You're alone. Maybe you're in your car. Maybe you are at home. Maybe it is late enough that the world feels wrong. Then children appear. They look almost normal. Almost. They ask for help. They ask for a ride. They ask to use the phone. They ask to come inside, but something is off. Their voices are too calm. Their timing is strange. Their presence feels wrong. And then you notice the eyes. Solid black, no whites, no warmth. No childlike innocence, just black.
If the children at your door have solid black eyes, I suggest pretending you're not home. Forever.
The most important part of this legend is the invitation. The black-eyed children usually do not force their way in. They ask. They need permission. That little detail is what makes the story crawl under the skin. Because the horror is not just that they are outside. It is that your hand moves toward the lock. You know something is wrong. You feel the danger. But the pressure builds. Let us in. We only need a phone. We only need a ride. We only need a home. That is why the song leans into the line, if they cross that line, the terror begins. Because the threshold matters. The doorway matters. The moment you invite the darkness in, you become part of the story.
Small hands knocking. Don't let them in. Midnight rain whispering, two small shadows watching me. Porch light flickers, the room turns thin, and I hear them hiss, let us in. Soft little voices in the cold, standing there like they have no soul. No tears fall, no breath, no sound. Black eyes staring as the lights go out. My hand moves to the lock, my blood runs thin. Something in my bones says, don't let them in, don't let them in, don't open the door. Black eyes waiting in the storm, sweet little voices, cold as sin. If they cross that line, the terror begins. Don't let them in.
Now we leave the porch light flickering behind us and step into history. Because sometimes the scariest stories are not whispered by strangers. Sometimes they are written in city records. And sometimes they dance. The song is Dancing Plague. And yes, this really happened. In 1518, in Strasbourg, hundreds of people were said to have danced uncontrollably for days and weeks. The event began with one woman dancing in the street. and soon more people joined. This was not a party. This was not celebration. This was exhaustion. Fear, confusion, and bodies moving as if something had taken control.
Imagine the worst dance marathon in history, except nobody signed up, and the prize was exhaustion.
Historical explanations vary. Some theories suggest mass psychogenic illness, extreme stress, religious fear, or social conditions that pushed people into a kind of collective breakdown. But no matter the explanation, the image is unforgettable. A city street, music or no music. People unable to stop. Feet bleeding. Bodies collapsing. A crowd trapped inside motion. That is what makes the dancing plague so haunting. It feels like possession. But it sits inside history. And for Synth Sirens, that is exactly the kind of darkness we love. The kind where reality and nightmare hold hands. The song turns the event into a cursed rhythm, a beat you cannot escape, a dance that does not end. A crowd moving toward collapse. Because sometimes the body becomes the haunted house, and sometimes the curse is not silence. Sometimes the curse is music.
She stepped out in the burning sun, bare feet moving, nowhere to run. Hands were shaking, eyes gone wide, like something wicked had climbed inside. People gathered in the market square, whispers rising in the dusty air. One by one they felt it too, a fevered rhythm pulling through. Round and round, no stopping now. Sweat like rain on a cursed old town. Church bells scream, but the drums stay loud, and no one knew how to shut it down. Dance, dance, the fever's alive. Feet hit the stones till the daylight dies. Round and round till the whole town shakes. We are the plague, we are the ache. Dance, dance, no rest, no escape. Lost in the rhythm of 1580. Hands to the sky while the church bells rage. Nobody leaves the dancing plague.
And now, for our final story tonight, we leave old Europe behind and step into Boston, Massachusetts. The year is 1919. The air is warmer than it should be. A tank is groaning. And something sweet is about to become deadly. Our final song is Black Sugar Tide. And this one sounds made up. It is not. On January 15th, 1919, in Boston's North End, a massive storage tank filled with molasses burst open. Millions of gallons of thick, dark molasses surged through the streets in a deadly wave. People were crushed. Buildings were damaged. Horses were trapped. The streets became a nightmare of sugar, metal, wood, and screams. "21 people died, and around 150 were injured.
Only Boston could make molasses sound like a horror villain. And frankly, it succeeded.
And the strangest part? For years afterward, people said that on hot days, the neighborhood still smelled like molasses. That detail is so eerie because it turns the disaster into a ghost story. The city moved on. But the sweetness stayed. Black Sugar Tide takes that historical tragedy and gives it a dark, cinematic voice. The molasses becomes more than a substance. It becomes a monster. A slow black wave, a sticky grave, a flood that should not be possible, but was. And underneath it all is a story about negligence, industry, and the cost of ignoring danger signs until the pressure finally breaks.
More grown, one warning sign, and the sweet dark monster crossed the line. Run, run, but the ground won't let you. Thick as tar and twice as cruel. Cold air cut like a warning bell. Sweetness dragged them straight through hell. Black sugar tide rolling through the night. Sweet turn savage under warning lights. No one ran when the silence cracked. Then the whole street drowned in black, black sugar tide. Thick as fear and flame. Boston shook and nothing stayed the same.
That is why this song belongs in Myths Behind the Songs. Because even though it is history, it has the shape of folklore, a warning, a disaster, a place that remembers, a sweetness that turns deadly. So tonight, we have traveled from castles to coastlines, from shrines to city streets, from masked women to black-eyed children, from dancing bodies to a wave of sugar-dark death. And what do all these stories have in common? They remind us that darkness wears many faces. Sometimes it is a countess in a mirror. Sometimes it is a sealskin hidden in a chest. Sometimes it is an offering you should never touch. Sometimes it is a question with no right answer. Sometimes it is a child at the door. Sometimes it is a dance you cannot stop. And sometimes it is history itself, rising up like a black tide. That was Myths Behind the Songs, Part 2. If you have not heard the songs yet, go listen to the full tracks on Synth Sirens and let the music drag you beautifully into the dark. And tell me in the comments, which story got under your skin the most? Was it the Blood Countess? The stolen freedom of the Selkie song? The curse of Don't Take from the Dead? The impossible question of Kuchisake-onna? The doorway terror of black-eyed children? The madness of dancing plague? Or the deadly sweetness of black sugar tide? And if you want a part 3, well, darling, there are always more monsters waiting. Like, subscribe, and stay strange, because here at Synth Sirens, the songs may end, but the legends never do.